Okay, so the exam will be on Monday, and the exam will be recorded and uploaded on Connect. You will see Connect, like you saw Project 11, you're gonna see midterm exam. So it's gonna be there, and like the homework, if you never did homework before, at the end it will say, this is your template, and please upload it. So you're gonna ignore the template that's there, but you will get my template on Blackboard. So let me try to share on Blackboard. Okay, so the first thing today, you go to course documents, class practice. It says October 14, class use. It's on the top. I brought it up. And you will have also the answer key for at least the profit and loss. So this is an example of a profit and loss. Okay, so you have the class practice. It's a Word document. And the second one is an Excel document, just to show you the profit and loss. Okay, on the announcement, I don't have the announcements open for you yet about the midterm. I don't think so, but there will be instructions about the midterm. Again, I don't care how many hours it's going to take you to create your QuickBooks file, and then you're going to take the QuickBooks file and start answering information on it from the Excel sheets to Connect. And then Connect has to be, Connect also, you attach the file, like you're doing homework.
Professor, is Connect as time-wise or no?
Connect is timed.
Okay.
Yes, Connect is definitely timed. The minute you start, you'll have 2 hours.
Got it.
Connect is timed, QuickBooks is not timed. Okay, so information about the exam. I think I prepared it, but I didn't send it to you yet. Review for the midterm, here it is. Okay, so review for the midterm. Maybe it's posted, maybe not. I'll make sure it's posted. Excuse me. Okay, so you'll be using Express Start, which is easier. The minute you're doing Express Start, you know you're going to be doing sample service company. Okay, so the company could be business owned by sole proprietorship or partnership. That's the reason I did a few videos, one with partnership, one with sole proprietorship, the difference between them. If I have two partners giving money, so a deposit can have two lines. If I have a sole proprietorship, so it's just owner's equity that he's investing in, that's one line. That's only the difference in a deposit. So you don't feel it much, really not a big difference between the two tests. Of course, you have to set up the company, which is chapter 11. After that, you're customizing your account, add account numbers and checking and all the accounts. Create a customer list. It's an option. I might give just like one customer, say cash customer, and vendor list, I might give 2 or 3, and you just type their name, a quick add later on a check, or you're typing it in the beginning. Customize your chart of accounts, meaning each chart of accounts that I would give, you're creating an asset or you're creating a liability, you're adding them up. Okay, after that, write a check, record sales transactions as a deposit. So I'm telling you that I'm not gonna give invoices, I'm not gonna give sales receipt. You'll be just doing deposits, very simple. Okay, of course, then I would like to test on bank reconciliation, and that's what I noticed some students still don't understand chapter 4. Bank reconciliation is a very important bookkeeping skill, not accounting skill. An accountant, of course, checks it, but the bookkeeper has to check that they didn't miss any transactions between the books and the bank. Okay, at the end, you'll be exporting to Excel. Again, what is you're exporting is financial statements, profit and loss, balance sheet, and cash flow. Those are a must. I repeat it. Profit and loss, balance sheet, and cash flow. They all have to be for the month that you're doing the work. You're probably going to be doing January. So that means January 1st to January 31st. If it's a balance sheet, it's just one date and time. So that's January 31st. If it's a cash flow, it's a month. So it's January 1st to January 31st. If it's a journal, same thing. January 1st to January 31st. I want to see all the transactions. Okay, so that's your review for the midterm that you should be reading. I'll activate it if I didn't. You have your task, so you will go one by one. Then export financial statements. Again, I'm repeating it, profit and loss, balance sheet, statement of cash flow. Log on to Connect only after you completed the QuickBooks. So only when you completed the QuickBooks, so this way you will have your 2 hours. Some students don't understand what I'm telling them and open the 2 hours. So you just made yourself nervous and you will have to work quickly those 2 hours. Because you also have to answer the connect, plus you're gonna have to do your work. If I change my mind and I'm telling you that I decided to do a multiple choice test, I will send it and change it. Okay, I'll have to change this. It's not full to 2020. Okay, the assignment tab on Blackboard will tell you the test itself. And connect will say on the top, midterm. So you do need Blackboard, you do need connect, and of course you need QuickBooks. Excel prep is not an issue here, okay? It's not related at all during the test. If for whatever reason you cannot submit, you made a mistake and you submitted for me just an income statement, which means a profit and loss or a balance sheet, make sure right away to send me all the rest of the documents by email. I am grading it manually, but if I didn't get any paperwork, there'll be no way to change your grade. So if you uploaded one sheet instead of all of them in one file, you could do that, sending me a paperwork separately, but during the exam time.
Professor?
An attempt, everybody reading it? But the second attempt is not to be used at all. Now I noticed that in many programs, I don't know why students are doing this, there is to attempt the submitting twice. If you got 60 the first time, you will get 60 the second time if you're submitting the same file on Excel prep. It does not make sense. A lot of students doing it. It's not going to change your answer. You did something wrong, obviously, if you got 60. So don't use the second attempt until you verify and look at your work and check each formula before you submit again. Some students just typing the numbers and they expect the computer to find the formula. There's no way it's gonna find an if or a VLOOKUP if you didn't do it. If you just typed the rates, it means you didn't use a VLOOKUP. So if you're not following directions, of course, you're gonna get between 60 to 70.
Question?
Okay, yes.
So, cause I think the first time.
Okay, so what you're seeing right now, that will be going to assignments. You will see midterm exam and Excel template. The template that I'm providing you right here is the template that I want to see on Connect, that you will use it and put it there. Of course, I'm changing these files. This is not your exam. This was an example of summer. But exporting it has to be that date. You probably will be doing these dates, January 1st to January 31st. Please make sure you're reading all my instructions. Many students are acting confused and not reading the instructions. If you're not reading the instructions, you're going to do something wrong. So I will tell you exactly what to do. So your answers are going to connect. But please read everything that you see here whenever I send it. Okay, so for today, I'm doing a final review, how to study for this exam. If you don't like to do, you know, completely go through my videos, no need. Go to the PowerPoint slides. Okay, this test is on Excel. It's really on QuickBooks only, no Excel until only when you put it later on. So go through all my notes that I sent from QuickBooks from chapter 1 through 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 PowerPoint slides. And of course, the big one is 11. Okay, I'm gonna open 11 a second. So chapter 11 starts with Express Start or the new company. Okay, I'm using 2018. Doesn't matter which one I'm using, but this is the overview of what I'm testing. So starting a new company for sure. Everybody doing new company. So again, it doesn't matter if you're using QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop. It really doesn't matter. Customize your chart of accounts. You're going to chart of accounts and you're adding accounts, deleting accounts, or just putting a new balance, like each one can have an opening balance. I'm giving you, of course, assets, liability, and equity. I don't need any income or expenses because those are temporary accounts. So the beginning is just basically assets, liability, or equity. Create lists. List could be vendors or customers. Record transaction. Prepare trial balance. I prefer that you would look at the trial balance, but I don't have to have it. And I'll review today adjusting entry. The basic one is depreciation expense and accumulated depreciation. If you never heard that before, again, you go to create a journal entry and you're going to prepare a journal entry that says debit for depreciation expense. And I might give the amount exactly and credit accumulate depreciation. You must know how to do depreciation. So depreciation expense is an expense that goes to the profit and loss. Accumulate depreciation is a contra asset that goes to the balance sheet. And if you didn't do it, both your balance sheet and your profit and loss will be wrong. So you have to prepare reports and take the reports and answer the work and connect. So that's all the steps. Complete the easy step interview is optional. You don't have to have the easy step interview. I gave you the option of Express Start. Express Start is faster, so do Express Start. Add your bank account, enter your company information, customize the account and lists. Select create a new company, select detail start and things like that. You definitely start here, create a new company. Okay, so you're not opening sample Larry, you're not opening sample Rockcastle. You're working on a new company right there. Okay, add the business you do business with. So adding, we do customer, maybe cash customer, and the rest is the vendors. I don't have employees. There will be no questions on payroll. So we didn't cover this at all. Employees, we skip. Bank account is the very important one. So you click on add a bank account. Your bank account is probably going to be the bank name and checking or just checking. Okay, that's it. Add account, edit account, delete. That was chapter 2. I don't care about text line mapping. You don't have to look at it at all. I don't grade that. I assume that all the students did not take faxes yet, so it's not important. So you only graded on the basic account. Again, no employee list needed at all. There'll be no employees. Transactions that you will definitely do is owner investment. Make it as a deposit. A deposit, owner investment, it means increase in owner's equity. Vendor expenses, definitely. You can do it as an enter bill and pay bill, or just right away, if I would say write check, use write check. Customers and sales transactions, I would do them, I'll skip it and I'll do them as a deposit, that's fine. Or if you made a sales receipt, follow the word sales receipt and make a deposit. So it might be 2 steps, might be 1 step. It depends. So again, number 2 could be in 2 steps. That means enter bill and then pay bill. That's called 2 steps. If you're doing it faster, it's write check. So if you have to follow my instructions, if I'll say write a check, so of course write a check. Customers and sales receipt, I usually skip that. I don't care so much to be seeing sales receipt right now or invoices right now. That will be more on the final. So I really just want to see deposit. And you're making a deposit to your checking account, that's on the top, and you're using the account called sales. Sales is your income. Okay, to prepare trial balance, make sure that you can see journals and adjusting. This is the final. So you're gonna send at the end financial statement. This is always what I want. Profit and loss, balance sheet, and statement of cash flow. And you submit this on Connect. That's it for chapter 11. So
we are only doing these 3 reports in Excel.
Those 3 is a must, including 1 more. The last one is going to be, let me just close this 1 second. Okay, those 3 reports are must. I also want to see journal. So journal will show me where you went wrong, if your debits and credits were wrong. So I need journal for the whole transactions. So you'll be doing it from journal from 1/1 till the end of the month, to January 31. Show me all journal entries. So that's a report that you find under reports, accountant and taxes, journal. She didn't do homework until now. So it's reports, accountant and taxes, journal, and look and change dates. Okay, so this is an example of a test, very similar to the test. If you never practiced before, chapter 11, this is a quick practice. So it's Express Start, Paint, Palette, that's the name of the company, sole proprietorship. Okay, so in this example, okay, it's regular checking account and it's 0. Painting supplies 0. I'm really giving very simple accounts. I hope you know how to do this. Main account, sub account. And here's the cumulative depreciation as well. So this is an option. If you're making a new account number, it will be 15400 or edit the number 17,000 that exists already. That's what it means by my instructions. That you have this or that. Doesn't matter to me which way you went. If you chose the type 15,400 or use 17,000. And make sure it's sub-account to computer equipment. Okay, so none of the accounts over here that I prepared have any value. All of them start with 0. So this example, starting to put entry and money right away here. So you don't have any amount until now. So you took your first $6,000 from your pocket and you started the business. So I'm going to do this work a little bit differently, not on QuickBooks. I want you to understand the accounting here. And I'll do another video of Connect. Okay, so 1 second. Let me try to open Excel. Okay, I'm going to share the Excel in a second. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so this is my example. I hope you're seeing Excel now. Yes, fine. Okay, so date and account, and which one is debit and credit. And just simple account. So the first one said, you're making it as a deposit. You go to the deposit screen and you're putting $6,000 and $6,000. Okay, the $6,000 is going to increase your checking. So checking for sure is debit. Credit, the owner. So owner's equity. Okay, so this is a deposit. And I can go back and forth to explain it again. Okay, so this is my first entry. It says you invested in the company $6,000, putting $6,000 in cash on January 2nd, 2020. So my company name is Paint Palette, but your name capital should have been there. So your name capital, account number 32,000, that's the one that should be there. Okay, or opening balance equity. If I'll give you those two options, nothing else. Okay, next deposit. So second deposit on January 3rd. You borrowed money from the bank and you signed a note. Add Citibank. Okay, so $3,000 to make your cash deposit. Create a new account. Okay, so we're gonna create something missing here. Where's my second deposit? Okay, it looks like I deleted one line or something. Okay, so this thing, I'm gonna do this deposit as well. It says you borrowed $3,000. You're increasing money, you made a loan and you signed a note. So the account that we're gonna use is short-term notes payable. You see it here? Short-term notes payable, you sign a note to the bank and you borrowed $3,000. Okay, so we go back to the Excel. I'm still on the deposit screen. Okay, this was January 2nd. Again, doesn't matter really what year, it could be any year. On the 3rd, we went and we borrowed money. So of course, the money went to the bank, checking, from short-term notes payable. $3,000. Okay, so we did 2 transactions. Would any of these transactions show up on the profit and loss? Now you can answer.
Do we have to put this on Excel and not on the QuickBooks?
No. It's a teaching right now. I'm teaching it.
Okay.
Not have to do this, but I hope you understand something. Okay, would any of these transactions go on a profit and loss?
I think no, because it's not like expense or income.
Okay, the answer is no, it will not, because
It's not expense or income.
it's not a revenue or expense. This one is equity and this one is a liability. And checking is an asset. There is no revenue, no expenses yet. So even if you did 2 deposits, your profit and loss is still 0. But both of these accounts would make it to be $9,000 in checking because it's 6 plus 3. And 6,000 is equity, 3,000 is liability. So on your assets, liability, and equity, it would look like this. Okay, just right now from these 2 transactions. This is assets. I have an asset of value of 9,000 equals to liability of 3,000 and 6,000 equity. Okay, that's what I did so far. So when I looked at it, I said, okay, you're not going to get profit and loss. Where's the second deposit that you made money? Then I'm looking back. There is a mistake somewhere on my paper because it said deposit 3. I don't know where deposit 2 is, but let's share again. It says that this is deposit 1, this is deposit 3. Where's deposit 2? It's kind of hiding. And you need to create a new account called painting income 41,000. Okay, so I do have a problem because you will be missing this deposit 2. So let me fix deposit 2. Deposit 2. Okay, we're gonna look for it in what I expect you to get at the end. Okay, so deposit 2 should be painting income, another 6,000. Okay, I missed the instructions. Let me make sure that I didn't miss instructions. Yeah, so I need deposit 2. Okay, so deposit number 2 is 6,000. I'll just do it as deposit. This will be 2. Okay, for deposit 3, you will need to use this new account. Okay, it makes sense that this will be at the end of the month. You worked hard. And on January 29, 2020, you made $6,000 cash from clients for your painting income. Okay, so now that I created that, that's going to be your third account, and then you're using painting income and income account 41,000. Okay, so let's continue with that. So now we're doing the third one on January 29. Checking, of course, increases by 6,000. So again, 6,000, but this time it's going to profit and loss. Profit and loss, 6,000. Okay, so I did 3 deposits.
Don't we say income other than profit and loss?
Yeah, profit income, sorry. It's called painting income. I don't know when it came up. Okay, so it's checking and painting income. Correct, painting income. So that goes to your profit and loss. Okay, so it's not changing this exactly. What happens is, like, really it's the umbrella of equity. So it's increasing equity by 6,000 and increasing the asset by 6,000. So right now you're going to have 15 here and 12,000 here, and it equals here. So it shows this plus this. Equals, and this is my formula. Okay, so that's my totals right now. 15,000 in assets, 3,000 in liability, and equity. This is after your deposits. Any questions on the 3 deposits? Okay, so we're going to start with checks. Now checks, meaning I'm going to ask you to do split. Split means 2 accounts to one, like one check, but it goes divided by 2 expenses. Okay, so add the following checks. Check 1, ABC Realty, that's simple. It's rent expense, $1,000 for rent expense. Next one will be a split, computer equipment cost, and office supplies expense. So I'm telling you exactly how to split. Okay, so we're going to the first one. Since we're writing a check, what goes first?
Is it checking account, credit checking account?
Exactly. So checking accounts would be credit. Okay, so we're starting with write checks. I could do it right now. 1,000 is checking. Okay, so check. It's not always QuickBooks on the journal shows debit first, credit next. It's not important. But what you should understand is rent expense is debit and credit check. This is check 101. Okay, check number 1 and 2 is going to be for computer. And this is equipment. And the second one said office supplies expense. And the total would be from checking. I could indent it so you'd really see debit credit a little bit better. Try to make it nicer. I'm showing it all as general journal. It's not going to be so long, but let's put all borders anyway. Okay, so you have the first transaction, checking and owner's equity. This one debit, this one credit. Next one is short-term notes payable as a credit. Next one is pending income. So those are 3 deposits. Deposit, deposit, and deposits. Okay, now we're starting with checks. The first check, rent expense and checking. Second check is for computer equipment cost, office supplies expense, and so on. So let's read it again. Okay, so when I wrote the word split, it means you have to put it into one account, but split the amount. 1,000 is for computer and 125 for office supplies. Total check, 1125. Okay. So 1,000 is going to be here. $125 here. And the total for these two, C11 plus C12 is going to be 1125. So we have 1 credit to 2 debits. That's a full transactions. Okay, that's a split check. This is called a split because we have 2 debit to 1 credit. And we're gonna do one more split. Check 103. Okay, so check number 103, going to be you bought paper and you bought a copier. Again, we're gonna use an asset and we're gonna use $50 for paper. Okay, so that you have to use all these new information over here. Okay, go to chart of accounts, add these accounts, 15,600 for the new copier, 15,700, sorry, and 15,800, accumulated depreciation copier. So we have 3 accounts that are new and it's all fixed asset. And that's for the 300. 350 will be your total. So 300 will be using this account, computer cost. Okay, the cost will get 300. $50 is paper, that's gonna be an expense. Okay, so we're gonna go there. Again, it's a split, so I have 300 in one line and 50 in another, and the total here. The 350 would be here. So it's computer. This one is a copier, cost, sub-account, office supplies expense, and the total goes to checking. That's exactly what you'll be doing on QuickBooks. You'll be doing these 2 accounts by writing a check. Checking, of course, is being reduced. Still a check. Okay, we're gonna go into, I think the last transaction is an adjusting entry and we'll be done. So did we finish the checks? Okay, no, more checks. You bought painting supplies on hand. The word painting supplies on hand, the word on hand means it's an asset. It's like brushes and drop cloth. It's something that you're going to use in the future, but you don't need it yet. So on hand is an asset. That's one clue for me. If it just said painting supplies, it could have been expense. But another clue is what, if you go back, if you probably don't remember what we started with. So I gave it in the beginning here. Painting supplies on hand, an account that is other current asset. So that tells you that this is the asset that you need to use. So painting supplies on hand. Okay, so let's go back. I know it's an asset. Painting supplies on hand, and I'm going to type painting supplies on hand, check. Let's say 104 for 300. Last one will be another check for short-term notes payable and interest. You pay 1,000 in total. So we're gonna have another 2 checks. So 604, 605 will be 104, 105. I can always change it. Okay, so they used 601. This would be 602. I didn't realize the numbers were different. And 603, and now I'm at 604. Okay, 604 would be painting supplies on hand, asset, $300. Okay, that goes directly to the balance sheet and not to the income statement. Of course, you're writing a check, so it's checking. I'm just increasing indent. I don't know if you can watch. So to show you that these are credits. Okay, last one. I read it before, so I'm going to put the amount. 800, 200 equals 1,000. But let's do it. Okay, so we're paying short-term notes payable. So that's paying a liability. Then you pay interest expense. That goes to the income statement. And the total goes to checking. And this is check 605, which is your last split. Again, why is it split? Because I have 2 debits to 1 credit. I'm paying the liability and I'm spending interest expense. If you wrote a check 1,000, it will be incorrect on the balance sheet and it's going to be incorrect on the profit and loss because you'll be missing the interest expense on your profit and loss. So make sure you're not paying 1,000. I didn't say to pay short-term notes payable 1,000. I wrote pay 800. Okay, so read it again. Pay to Citibank 800. Interest expense is 200. And total of the check is 1,000. And it says exactly, I underline which account to use. Short-term notes payable. Oh, here's the deposit. Received cash for 3,000. Okay, so this was 6,000 and we did it already. You know, I'll leave it as 3. Let's say that we had 2 deposits. Use the same information. From the client, the date is 2020 for this amount is, let's say you did 2 deposits, 3,000 each. It's the same idea. Okay, so this deposit is 3,000, the other deposit is 3,000 and you're fine. I did have the instructions somewhere, but I want you to have a total of 6. Okay, adjusting entries. Adjusting entries, the first one is for sure, depreciation for computer, salvage value is 36 months. Do the first month, and I'm giving you the amount 25, but if you didn't understand it, let's read again. We bought a computer right here. It's 1 month. So we bought a computer in the first check for a total of 1,000. Salvage value is going to be $100. So the explanation is 1,000 minus 100, that's 900. 900 divided by 3 years, by 36 months, I think is 25. But let's double check. Okay, so we do it as general journal entry anyway. But when we do Excel or you do Connect, you will have a check mark adjusting entries. It's right away an adjusting entry. Okay, so if I do it here, I prefer that you would write adjusting entries. Okay, so adjusting entries, the first one, it's 9. Okay, I'll do the whole calculation. 1,000 minus 100 is 900. 900 divide by 36 months. No. I need to put it in parentheses, 1 second. 900 divided by 36 months is $25. 1,000 minus 100, that's salvage value. It's your basic depreciation. Cost minus salvage divided by life, 36 months. So your monthly depreciation is 25. Again, 900 divided by 36 months. It's $25. So what's the name of the 2 accounts? Okay, so that's always done on January 31st, the end of the month. And you're going to write depreciation expense and accumulated depreciation. Okay, this is your first one. So this is the only one probably that I'll give you on the test. You don't need to study so much, but let's review. Same idea on the next depreciation. Okay, so let's continue. Next one says depreciation expense for 300 was the copier, no salvage, and 24 months. So it comes out to 1,250. Okay, so we take the copier. So its depreciation expense is the same. You don't need another account. But here is copier, accumulated depreciation copier. That's the name of the account. Accumulated depreciation copier. And the first one, I forgot to write computer. This one was computer. Okay, so now we're doing credits to accumulated depreciation copier. So again, they said 300 is the cost divided by 24 months. We're going to use this copier for 2 years. It's $12.50 every month. Okay, so that's my second adjusting entry. And it is similar to the first one because they're both about depreciation. Okay, so the first and the second are very similar. Just a review. I'm showing you two depreciations. Last one is a little bit different. We counted painting supplies on hand and only 260 is left. Okay, so only 260 is left. So we go back and we say, okay, the account, we bought, let's say primer or whatever, we used $40 of it. Because 260 is left, we do 300 that we just did before. You see it right here. When we bought drop cloth and everything for $300. And we want to say that 40 is used. So use painting supplies expense, and I'm giving you the account. It's a new account, and that's the expense. So always in adjusting entries, you're not involving cash. It's not like you're paying $40 for anything. There's no checking involved. You are paying, you're just using. So the 300 that you put over here, some of it was used. So 300 minus the 260 that's left equals 40. Beginning was 300, I'm pointing it out again. So adjust what you used. So 300 minus 260, and you're gonna put it to the new account. Painting supplies expense, it's a new account, obviously increases. So we're gonna use that first. That's your last adjusting entry. So we're debiting, again, if you didn't listen until now, it's 300 that we had minus 260. What's left? It's $40 used. So painting supplies expense. And the second one is painting supplies on hand. Okay, notice again, these three adjusting entries, I'm not touching cash. It didn't tell you to buy now anything. Just writing down that it's used. So explanation, 300 minus 260, that's left. Left in the closet. So that's equal 40 used. Okay, that's what we do. It's three adjusting entries. Of course, we do this usually once a year. You don't want to deal with this every month, but it's a good idea when you have this every month, you can work on it. It'll be making your accounting more accurate if you do this monthly. It is easier. Okay, so now to finish it off, what will be your profit and loss if you understood everything until now? So I'm leaving the assets, liability, and equity right now, and I'm just pointing out what is income. So income right now is this month, $6,000, painting income. Okay, expenses. Everything that it's in orange would be expenses. So 1,000 is rent expense. 125 is office supplies expense. $50 again is office supplies expense. Interest expense, that's 200. And then from the adjusting entries, you have a few. It's gonna be depreciation expense together, 25 and 1250. So it's 3750. And you're gonna have the $40. Okay, so let me copy it over here. We have 25 and 1250, that's together. We're gonna have the $40 as expenses. the 200 and 175. 200, 175 is office supplies expense, which consists of, okay, let's do it slowly, 125 plus 50, that becomes 175. So 3750, 40, 200. You're seeing right now how I create exams. And 1,000. So I know that my 6,000 is income. And let's total our expenses. I use automatic sum. Okay. So now the answer is 6,000 minus 1452.50 is 47.50. That's your net income. 47.50. Okay, so this is the file I created. You could do this in 2 deposits. You could do it in 3 deposits, doesn't matter. So if you did 2 deposits of 3,000 and 3,000, they should look the same. Checking and painting income would look the same. So everything is correct. Let's go to check my answers. Yes, your answer is 47.50, your net income for the month of January. So you check by looking at profit and loss. Let's go to profit and loss. I'm going to share profit and loss now. This is from QuickBooks directly. Okay, I hope everybody's seeing my Excel. From QuickBooks, you'll get this. Painting income, account number 61,000. Regardless if you use QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop. If you use QuickBooks Online, you might not have the account numbers, but you could do the account numbers. It's optional. But the account has to be there. 3750 represents the 25, you know, the 25 in there, and the 1250. 200 is interest expense, that's true. Painting supplies expense is from the adjusting entry. Office supplies, it's from the 125 and the 50. And of course, rent expense. So the correct account is 47.50. How do you answer on QuickBooks? From Connect, I mean? Connect, I'm going to ask, what is your painting income? And you will answer 6,000. If the question is, what is net income? The answer is down here, 47.50. What is your total, sorry, expenses? Okay, so this is the information that you will need. Of course, the balance sheet as well. Balance sheet will increase this number. Net income will go to the balance sheet and it will increase. I'm going to post this recording plus the recording of how to do it on QuickBooks as well. So that will be done by me separately without you in class right now. It's just easier for me to just record Zoom. So any other questions on this type of exam?
Quickly, is it?
Yes.
Okay. My point was that I need project 11 before the midterm to see if you're ready. But okay, so I'll extend it to the 20th.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, but definitely do it before. It will just, it will make your life easier if you know what you're doing for the exam.
Thank you so much.
So do project 11 again before the exam. Now, office hour starting in 5 minutes, really. So if anybody needs to speak to me, just stay. Otherwise, I'm going to right now end the session and I'll go back up in a couple of minutes.
Professor?
Yes.
Professor, you're going to post this recording on YouTube, right?
Okay, I'll try to post it on YouTube. Yeah, right now I have to get